Hi, welcome back to Irish Angling Adventures. It's been an awful long time since I've actually done a video, but I said I'd get out here now. It's the 26th of December, bitterly cold. I'm wearing my new, what Santi brought me, my new thermal. And fishing a mark here that I've never fished before. I'm down west. It's a deep-ish mark. It's about 20 meters deep out in front of me. Should be onto clean ground, should be. And there should be a bit of a shelf straight down. So never fished here before, don't know anything about it. Just said, well, I have the time, I'll come down and give it a go. But I'm going to fish right rod, slightly bigger baits, left rod, slightly smaller baits. I'm going to vary the distance in and out, see possibly if there's a ling or something in close. I don't know. Look, we'll figure it out, but it is bitterly cold right now. We have an easterly wind, which isn't giving me high hopes, but we're going to give it a go. Yeah, as I said, I've cast it out. Left rod, I actually just see needs to be tightened up just a touch. Because of the depth, I'm just letting the rod settle before I really tighten them up. Ratchets are on, just in case, and figure out how we're going to get on, really. Yeah. I'm also using fixed pools today. Don't generally use fixed pools, but I've decided I'm going to have to try swap over to them soon, I think. There's a bit more availability in rods and reels and stuff. So I'm out. I have two Spingfisher 7500 long casts. So yeah, let's see how we get on. It's been about, 20 minutes since this right rod was out, so I'm going to reel it in and check. As I said, I've never fished here before, so I don't expect, or I don't know what to expect with the baits. I don't know if they're going to be destroyed by crabs or if they're even going to get back. There should be, that ledge should be far enough or close enough in that I get away with it. We'll find out. Going to keep them moving fairly quickly to get them up. Right, so his first bait is back here now. And that didn't last very long, so I get another bait on. There's something out there where there's crabs or shrimp or whatever it is. There's something out there, so we get this rebaited and get it casted out now straight away. As you can imagine, I wasn't sure what I was going to be up against today, just with what the ground was going to be like, what the conditions like. There's only so much you can do online, like search on Akios or search on Google Maps, but you really don't have a feel for a place unless you get here. So I feel like I've brought way too much stuff, but anyway, it's not the end of the world. So for this one, last time I just used the mackerel fillets off this small joey. I'm just going to use the rest of them there now, heading all plenty of bait in me. That. Just being conscious as well, just because you're on rocks, just trying to be a bit conscious of not getting this place slippery. So when I'm taking off bait, I'm throwing it away. I'm not just throwing it to the side or anything, I'm trying to get it away from me. Just last thing you need is making this area slipperier than what it actually is. So I'm just going to bait this up and get it casted out. They're not, I wouldn't say they're huge baits, but again, I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that there's spur dog floating around here. There should be. They're in the area, so there's no reason why they wouldn't be here. So that's why as well. This rig I have, it's a 6.0 top circle. Bottom hook is a 4.0, just like a big mouth extra or a tamer or something like that. I'm on 100-pound hook length and then 60-pound main body. The 100-pound is just in case there are spurs, it'll deal with it a lot better than say 60-pound will. So using up and over rigs because it should be according to Navionics, it should be clean enough outside, so I'm hoping it just lies nicely on the bottom. But that's the bait, that's the rig. Get this chucked out now, see if we can get a fish on the end. So I was just reeling in my second rod there, so I'm with just a Sandeel. And so I was reeling in, I thought there was a bit of weight, but I wasn't 100% sure on it. Well, that ain't a Sandeel eye. I'm not actually sure what it is. It might be a whiting, or coley maybe, or a pollock, but it's a fairly significant sized eye. It ain't small, but I suppose it means there was something down there at least. But yeah, I felt it on the way up. It was right up, there was a bit of weight, but I thought maybe a weed or a crab or something. And maybe 2-3 meters below the surface. I couldn't see it, but I just felt it pop. And that was what came up, so there was something there at least. So rig this back up with the Sandeel, chuck it out. Or I might go crab, we'll see. Now I might be getting a bit, now I might be preempting this, but I haven't seen either rod move. And then all of a sudden that right rod just did 2 nods. Feel like the line is tightening up, but it's hard to kind of tell, it's so deep. That's on it's on half a mackerel. It's a small joey mackerel, it's only this big. But there definitely was interest in it there, like, especially with the dip, just to move the rod that much is something. It's not like there's weed in the water or anything like that either. I'll bring the camera over just in case there's a bit of action. I don't know where to reel it in or not. It's kind of one of those things, it's big enough that it will last, but probably no harm. I feel like there's definitely something at it. I might give it a reel in and see. If there's not, it's kind of getting to the point of rebaiting it anyway. It feels like there's something there, all right. I wonder what we have. Is it a huss? Is it a dog? It's not fighting anyway, whatever it is. If it is something significant, where am I going to land it? It is it's a nice huss. This big dark huss. Might be able to land him here. Might be able to swing him up. Now we have a few wraps. Now we'll get him up here now. Oh, that's actually a bigger boy than I thought it was. Oh, he's much bigger than I thought. Okay, just keep some tension on. I'll walk him down here. There's the best place to get him up. He's not going anywhere then, very quickly. I'll walk him down. That was my own fault. Playing around with him too much. And the joys of using barblesses. But gives me hope. I should have been a bit more prepared for that. Huss of around, he was about 10 or 12 pound. He was actually more significant than I thought. I thought I could just lift him, but there was no way where I was. So walked him down, there's just a little spot down here I can lift him over. And he just got a bit of slack line on me in a wave, just on the rock, and got off. But oh no, that's good. I'm happy with that. There's some fish around, so we get this bait up, chuck it out again. as well. Just after rebaiting that now, I'm just after using its full fillet of mackerel, just cut in half, bound on together. But one of the things that annoys me, I suppose the best way of putting it with fixed pools, is you need to have something else. Like, it's not just you're not just using your finger really. Like, you need a finger stall, you need something. So I unfortunately, just out of pure coincidence, cut my casting finger. So the options were go with a stall, which I'm not a massive fan of, or using the breakaway cannons. And I've never used one before, I've never seen someone use them, but I picked up 2 of them for the 2 rods just to give them a go and see what they are like. And I'm kind of getting the hang of them. It annoys me. It says that you recommend 60-pound or 60-pound mono, but I feel like it's a bit light for it. So I went with, it's about 70-pound, just to take up a bit more of the, I suppose, the impact of it, or it's not sharp, but the pressure on the actual cannon itself. And they're fairly straightforward. I think some people seem to have an issue with them, but I seem to be okay with them. I think it might be something to do with the multi, I don't know. But I'm getting the hang of them. Apparently they're meant to make your cast smoother. I have yet to discover this, but we're getting the hang of them anyway. Clipped again. I suppose with baits that big, I can't really complain. It's going to unclip, isn't it? Wind's going to catch it. But again, as I was saying, once it hits the water, just leave out line. And these deep marks, just leave it out. Let it hit bottom. You can tighten up the slack afterwards. I've just casted that back into roughly the same spot as where I've had that, or where I missed that husk there now a minute ago. I'm raging. I should have just went straight down instead of. I thought I might be able to get him up down here, even though I scoped out a mark down there to pull him up. Look, you can't win them all. That should be on bottom there now. So I'm just tightening up some of the slack. And what I'm going to do is, sorry about the sniffling, but what I'm going to do is tighten up slack and then leave it sit for maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and that'll just allow all the line that's in the water column to kind of lay out and tighten up a bit better. But what'll happen is you'll notice it'll just get slack again. So don't worry about tightening up straight away. Give it a minute or two, let it settle, and then give it a tighten up. And even at that, with the depth that I'm here, you're never going to get it perfectly tight. It's always going to be a bit slack. So yeah, it's not too bad. This now has somewhat settled, so again, I'm going to leave out my drag. Make sure that's loose enough, a little bit more. There we go. Basically, I want it so that if a fish hits it, I'll see it on the rod tip, but I won't lose a rod if it decides to run. So yeah, that's there now. Happy days. Hopefully this time there's going to be hopefully this time I'm going to actually get the husk on camera. I'm actually annoyed about that, but sure, look, what can you do? What can you do? No, I'm not too sure. Thought I saw this one not slacking up, but I thought I was just tightening up, and I thought I felt something. So it's time for it to come in anyway. It's time for it to get rebaited, so I'm just going to give it a pull in here now. This is just the Sandeel. So where I'm fishing as well, it's a bit of a not even a channel. It's just so in front of me it should be about 20-30 meters deep, down to clean sand. About 200 meters out there's a shelf of rock. Not even a shelf, it's more of a pinnacle of rock, or row of rocks. Ooh, I hit a bit hard. So yeah, there's effectively what I'm standing on is a bit of it juts out of rock. About 200 meters out, there's another line of rock that stops maybe around here somewhere. So I've got a bit of a gap here in the rock in front of us. Rock runs this way as well, so it should be all clean sand in front of us here. I am probably going to drop one in a bit closer just to see. Cotton pants. I might drop one in around the rocks here and just see potentially if there's a ling or maybe a big pollock or something floating in amongst it. But for now anyway, Sandeel was fairly mangled, so I'm actually going to try might try a full crab or half a crab there now, lob it out. You never know, there might be a cod, but I don't think there will be. But you have to try, I suppose. I'm not entirely sure. If this right rod is going again. This again is the mackerel rod. I can't tell it 100%, but it looks like there's something possibly at it. It's not out there incredibly long, which if I don't need to bring it in, I would prefer not to. Seems stuck is what it does. Yeah, she's stuck now this time. I feel like there's something on it. Could be a conger or something. Going to keep pressure on it for a minute, just see if it comes out. Could be just an absolute strap conger. Oh, there's a bit of movement there now. Oh, it's coming anyway. Could be just a strap conger that got something wedged in a rock somewhere, but it's out anyway. And whatever it is still on. Wonder what we have. Seeing it now any second. What do we have? What do we have? It's a dog. I think it's a dog. Yeah, dog. Not too bad. Yeah, she was only just barely hooked in the corner, but yeah. Look, I suppose the first fish landed. I'm not going to take it. It's actually quite empty. I'm surprised. There's not a lot of not much in his stomach unless now he's puked it up on the way up, but we'll get him back here now, get that rod, we'll get a new rig for it, but we'll get out and go again. I think I had another knock on this right hand rod. Oh, it's not out as far as I cast last time. I brought in just a touch more, but it does look like there was a knock on it. Yeah, just waiting it anyway. This is a half a mackerel, or not half, but let's say a quarter. It's the tail section. Feels like a huss anyway, I'd say. I'll get him up now. I'll walk him around. I'll walk him down there actually. Should be up here now in a second. There's leader. And there he is. Is it? What the fish am I looking at? It's two dogs. What the fish have they done to each other? So if one dog, two dogs. What the fish? Like, so they're both hooked. One is top hook, one is bottom hook. There they go. Double hook up on the panel. So I'll get them released there now, throw them back. Jeez, my nose is running a lot, but there seems to be. I thought now that was going to be another husk just with the weight of it, but obviously 2 dogs will do that on the way in as they're wrapped up. But this left rod now has a few knocks on it. It's not very big, whatever it is. That should be, it's half Sandeel and a bit of Bluey. It looks like it's getting knocks anyway, but first thing is still going to rebait this one and get it out, and unless the rat just starts going, I won't run for it. I'm just going to change it up here now just a little bit. I'm putting on it's an up and over again, but it's just it's a short one, and it's only got a 1 O on the bottom. So I've just put a bit of Sandeel, a bit of Bluey on that. I'm going to just chuck it, instead of casting out, I'm going to cast to the left a little bit, bring it in closer, just see what's in there really. Could be a big flash, could be anything at all. But I'm still going to give it a chuck because I know the channel here is still, I still need to get out a bit. I need to get out like 40-50 meters. But just be curious to see what else is in here. I've had a few dogs now. I haven't videoed them all because kind of it's boring after a while. Oh, it'd be handy if I didn't go through my shoelace. But yeah, I've had a few dogs. Kind of hoping there might be a small ray or a spotted or a small tawny or something. Saying that, I would have thought I'd have had another husk by now. I was kind of hopeful with that first one. Get this clipped up. Should be okay there. Yeah, look, you win some, you lose some. If I don't get anything, if I lose it, I have to try. What I am finding interesting though is I've been using mackerel on this right rod solely, and every time it's come in pretty well stripped. Now I know there's been a few fish in it, but even if hasn't been a fish, it still comes in quite stripped. The left one I've been crab and Sandeel, and if it doesn't get a knock, it comes in fine. So I'm not too sure why, but it's just something I've noticed. So I'm as interested now, but it's been about 20 minutes. I'm going to give this smaller rod a pull in there, see what it's like. Kind of expect a dab or something on it. Nothing massive, but it'd be handy if I tighten that up. But I definitely expect something. It's probably going to be a dog. Okay, it feels like absolutely nothing. But the only thing is, at least it didn't get stuck. It kind of goes to show that it is quite clean. Now, tide has dropped off maybe, I think we're probably at bottom of the tide now looking at it. I might have to Google that. But maybe like it has slackened off. I haven't seen much fish now since about not even mid-tide, whatever. Untouched. Absolutely untouched. What I might do now, if that's been untouched, it's where I didn't have enough bait to go through. But I'm literally just going to clip it on and chuck it out again. It's out far enough now. Probably going to be quite deep out there. So surprised I haven't got anything decent on this rod. At the moment it has the mackerel head out. I'm going to leave it there for a while, unless the dog takes it. But I'm going to leave it there for a bit. There doesn't seem to be much crab activity, so baits are able to stay out long enough, provided a fish doesn't take it first. I'm going to, as well, I didn't say it earlier, but I'm going to be fishing here in the darkness. So there's a chance of anything once it gets dark. What I'll do though, as it gets dark, I'll change out, I'll put on some glowy beads and glowy pop-ups and stuff. There should be some nice coalies here. I don't see why there wouldn't be. Nice good depth. There's only one way to find out, that's for sure. leave that out there now. It's still going to go slack, but once the slackens up, we'll tighten it up again and we should be good then from there. No better time to sit down and have a quick cup of tea. Boat rods are out. There's nothing really happening right now. No, since the bottom of the tide, which I think it should be around now. The fish kind of turned off. No dogs, no knocks. Even the rod I pulled in there was certainly got no fish in it, the bait wasn't even stripped. So I don't know what's going on, but it's not the end of the world. But yeah, going to make a quick cup of tea as well. I said I'd say it just in case people aren't aware. We're doing I'm doing community meetups now, where I'm going to post a location once a month. That location is just going to be all around Ireland. It doesn't matter the day of the week. It's just when I'm going to be free. And yeah, everyone's more than welcome to join. There's no cost involved. There's no anything. Join for a few hours fishing. You end up meeting some other lads. So it should be interesting. The first one's going to go ahead January 3rd. So that's next Saturday. Might be something like that, right, Rod? But yeah, next Saturday there should be a few people doing yawl. So there's kind of likelihood of anything down there. There's kind of ray, bass, coalies. Should be a mixture of everything. There's a few people coming down. I think there's about 14 or 15 said they're going, so it should be interesting. But yeah, it's good to get it going. It's good to get more people into angling, or more people fishing and sharing ideas and seeing how other lads are fishing versus other fellas, and just basically share a bit more information. So it should be a bit of crack. There's a good few people going. And yeah, if you want to make it, or if you want to sign up, there's a link on the website for email notifications. You can sign up there or follow. I've set up a Facebook community group called Irish Angling Adventures Community. You can stay up to date on that as well, but the email is probably the best way to do it. You won't miss that. But in the meantime, I'm going to have my cup of tea. I haven't had much activity now in a while. I've had one lead stuck. I had to snap off, unfortunately, but this one now I've had it out with full crab. It was out further left and it's gonna go a bit right now. So I'm curious. It doesn't feel to be anything at all on it. It definitely wasn't this far right when I cast it. Just all twisted up. But when I'm saying that, this left rod is after. I've just casted this left one out, so it's just slack. But it's a bit closer into the rocks than I wanted it. I'm wondering as the tide turns now, just to see that had swung over here when I definitely cast it that way. So what can you do? It's been incredibly slow. That drop in tide from about I definitely wasn't here at high, but a little bit down from high. There's fish every single cast. Now we're at I'm going to assume we're after bottom of the tide there now, looking at where the water is. I thought we'd have had a few more fish at this stage. I'm sorry about sniffling throughout the video as well. Sinuses. But yeah, definitely thought we would have had a few more fish. That cast I had out with just a Sandeel, Sandeel and Bluey on a size 1.0, that it wasn't touched at all. That was out for a while as well. So, not too sure. I'm going to chuck on again just because there seemed to be some interest in that one there. That was a full crab. I'm going to put a bit of full crab on again and chuck it out. It wasn't that crazy distance. It was a good bit out, but it wasn't mental. Especially by the time it settles and everything. It's probably only about 80 metres out. So I'll get that one redone, get it out. If they retighten this left one, the slack is still there again. We'll retighten it and see. We're what, an hour off of darkness now, or an hour off of sunset. So maybe as it starts getting darker, stuff will start picking up, but the water's not incredibly clear. You can see it's all stirred up. There's a lot of, I suppose it's sand in the water, or silt. So I don't know if darkness is going to make much of a difference, but hey, we're here anyway for a while. But yeah, I'll get that rod tightened up, get new bait in this rod, and sure, we keep trying. So as you can see, I am pretty well wrapped up now. It has gotten cold, So yeah, have all my layers on now. But anyway, so last cast, this rod was stuck. It pulled out, but I lost the hooks. This rod is currently still stuck. Tried putting pressure on it, didn't move, so I've just let a load of slack now. But it seems like the last 2 or 3 casts I've gotten stuck. So I don't know if it's a case of whether there's a ledge out there because the tide's at its bottom, or was at the bottom, it's after turning now, that I'm getting stuck on, or where the current that's coming in is moving the leads and stuff and they're getting stuck. I have no idea. But because of that, I've moved on now to, I've got a 2-hook flapper here, size 1, and I'm literally just going to chuck it out a few yards, just try to get it to come down the slope. Might pick up a wrasse or a pollock or something like that, but just something to get fish on the camera again, because it seems like since about mid-tide, or maybe 2 hours before bottom of tide, it's absolutely died a death. So yeah, I'm just going to send this down. I've got some glowy beads on them, so we'll see if we get anything on that. But as I said, I'm not going to chuck it a mile, just literally just going to lob it out. That slope shouldn't be very far, so as long as I'm hitting that, I'm okay. I'm not even clipping up the lid. I just wanted to go just a little bit. So we leave that there. I might pick up coley, pollock, wrasse, something like that. It's just baited up there at the moment with a piece of Bluey and a piece of Sandeel. Now, when that's settling in, doing this thing, should be slacker. We'll see if this is still stuck. Still feels fairly stuck to me. Yeah, that's pretty stuck. Yeah, I think I'm going for a snap on this one. That doesn't seem to be coming at all. When you are going for a break, just make sure you're not looking at it. If it goes and something comes back, you don't want it hitting you in the face. Did it move? I felt like it moved a bit. Oh no, it's coming now. Whatever it was. Whew. Yeah, just kelp. Oh, and fish. What is that? Is that a dog wrapped around a piece of kelp? Is it a huss? Oh, it's a small huss. Okay. Is it a huss? Yeah, it is. Okay, let me get him. He's been on that now for a while. Ah, something at least. But, geez, that was tough. I'll clip this here. You can see, just a little bobby huss. He's only about, if he's 2 or 3 pounds, he's big. That's him there. That's what caused all my hassle there now. He's lovely spots, lovely leopard spots on him. And again, just give him a second to relax. The big telltale sign of a huss is you can see those nasal flaps. They're your big telltale sign for the difference between a dog and a huss. Now, if you got a dog that side, you'd be doing well. But we're going to lob him back there now. Throw him straight down. Something a bit better than a dog. But you can see what we're dealing with. It's that kelp on bottom, so we're fishing into, maybe it's not rock, or maybe it's not sand like I thought it was. Maybe it is onto a rock slab. No, I'm not getting caught very often, but just getting caught in that. You can see the amount of pressure I put on to actually get that up, and all it was to pull the kelp off the rock. That husk wasn't that heavy. So yeah, it just goes to show. I'm using what, 20-pound Varvas yellow sport. It's what, 70-pound leader. Just make sure your knots are good and strong like that. That was a lot of pressure now to move that fish. Well, to move that piece of kelp. So we'll do that again. Lob on a piece of mackerel, hammer it out, try to get a bigger one. It is getting cold now. Now the sun's after going down. Sun's down about, I think down 15 minutes. It's getting dark very quickly though. This overcast sky is really helping that. So, I know it looks dark on camera. It probably looks a bit grainy right now. But it'll get better. Well, once I get the light on, of course. But it's just that little bit too bright to my eye to turn the light on. Which way is this? So, try to get this back. And we're stuck again, are we? Yeah. If it's stuck on kelp again, it might do the same thing and just pull out. I've got to say, these Spingfishers, can't fault them. Oh, come on, pop out again. So initially I thought this was quite clean ground. That has come to show it is not clean ground, or not as clean as I thought it was. Just gonna have to go for a break again. It's gonna have to go this time. There it goes. Not happy about that. Still should be okay. I get this re-tied up, and worst comes to worst, I've got my multis here if I need them. But it should be all right for another cast. Let's see. I feel like I'm being interrogated all of a sudden with the light on. But yeah, another double dog there. Not much I can do with that. It's very slow right now. I'm surprised how slow. Just made myself a cup of tea again. Yeah, it's much slower than I really expected it to be. The dogs kind of turned off for a while, and now they're back in force, it seems. I had two a flapper out for maybe a pollock or a wrasse or something in close, and just reeling it in there, and it was a bit of weight, and I was like, oh, it might be something good, and no, it turned out to be double dog. But sure, that's how it goes, I suppose. I better turn this on. But we'll keep going on here. We've plenty of time. Plenty of time anyway. I still have loads of mackerel. I'm still watching the rods. I seem to be getting caught more and more, which I'm very annoyed about. I don't really understand it. I'm getting caught on what I'm assuming is that kelp again, but I have no idea. But I just keep going. But like at the start, I wasn't getting caught in anything. And now as the session goes on, I don't know whether it's the tide's gone out, whether it's tide movement, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely getting caught a bit more. So I've thrown on a weak link on the right hand rod just to see, even though that rod is getting low on line. The left rod isn't on a weak link yet, but I probably should have put it on that last cast just to be safe. But we've gone again. Right rod is mackerel, left rod is Bluey Sandeel at the moment, and I've chucked that out now a bit of distance. But Jesus, slack. I was expecting a few more fish, maybe a few more husks or a ray or something, but no, it's just dogs, and would have been 2 husks if I was quicker, but 1 husk. But anyway, I'll have a cup of tea, I'll have a bit of my Christmas dinner, well, a sandwich from it, leftovers, and I'll sit down and watch the rods for a little bit longer. Just fucking try and get that sorted again. It's just the making my tea, And that right rod had a few knocks there. Just watch that in case it doesn't boil too much. But there was definitely something at this, and if there's anything I've learned in the last few minutes is as soon as you see something, just get it in. Just tighten up the drag. Tighten up into it. Might have pulled out of it there. Or it might not have been there at all, it might have been just the lid. Missed whatever it was anyway. That or I've just popped the lid off and I thought it was a fish popping off. Could have sworn there was something at that, but obviously, see, I'm wrong. There was something at it anyway. That was a lot more bait. But look, it's a sign of there's life again anyway. So, get this unclipped, rebaited, cast it out, and I can actually sit down. So I was actually asked to review the headlight that's attached to the side of the camera. So I was given it actually a year ago, but I never ended up reviewing it. I actually forgot about it. I was using it a bit. I haven't been using it as my main headlight, but I've been using it on the camera. I find it very good on the camera, just because the mount that it comes with, I have it zipped out to the side of the case, so it seems to work really well. But I'll show it to you anyway. But it's the Army Tech Wizard C2. So if I actually just grab it here. Now, bear with me, it doesn't have the headlight on it, but you can see, so, if I just turn my headlight on, it's quite a compact unit. It's a mag charger, which I'm actually not a massive fan of, but it seems to work pretty okay, so I can't really complain about it. It starts off, I think just 200 hours, but again, so this is this lowest beam. It doesn't really, it's very, very low. If I show you this way, so that's our lowest beam, which isn't great, more for camping if you're out. Next beam up, I'll just keep cycling through them and you'll see. So this one is probably the one I use the most. Doesn't come across great on camera, but it actually is quite a wide beam. And then there's one more, so that's actually very good. Can I turn the camera a bit? So you can see it's quite actually a good beam. I think there's one more setting. No. So plenty of settings for it. But the battery lasts a good long time as well. So I can't argue with it too much. It's waterproof, and look, the company that gave it to me, they said, or Armitech sent it out to me, there's a 15% discount with the code James15, or maybe it's Irish Angling Adventures 15, I can't remember, but the link will be in the description anyway below. Again, I can't knock the headlight too much. It's very bright, it lasts a good while, but I wish I could adjust the beam on it. I wish it was USB Type-C as well. The mag charging I'm kind of sick of, but the one I have on as well is a mag charge. So it's not bad. As I said, the headlight is nice, the head strap is nice, but I've left it in the Jeep. I forgot to bring it down because I was using it for the camera. And yeah, it lasts a good while. That's why I use it for the camera. It seems to last for ages, and it's magnetic as well. So especially when I've done it working on the car and stuff like that, you can just click it to the underbody while you're doing stuff, and it's actually quite okay. But yeah, that's the story with that. Now, my tea is ready, so it's time to have a cuppa. So I was just casting out that left rod, and I thought I saw the right rod bounce. It looks like it is moving. I don't think it's just tied. I think it actually might be like a dog on there or something. It's not a very big bait, if I remember right, but it's not out far. We'll see. No. Oh, maybe a dog. Well, whatever it is, it's not it's coming in pretty fast. Must be just a dog. Let's see it here now. It's getting, what time are we now? We're up to 5:30. There it is, the dog. Jeez, for a second I thought it was a spur. Fine fat dog. I lost me lid as well, but sure, that was the whole point of the weak link. But another dog. Get him unhooked, release him. It's 7 o'clock now. We've given it quite a good go, and there's still not much happening. Like, still a load of dogs. I thought there would have been something more interesting. I'm fishing half mackerel now at the moment, just trying to see if maybe there's a huss floating around, or maybe there's the potential for something else, maybe a ling or something, even a conger I'd take at the moment, but there doesn't seem to be anything. So I'm going to give it another hour anyway. If nothing happens in an hour, I'm probably going to pack up, because it's a long walk back. It's up the hill. So yeah, there's not much I can do really. I genuinely thought it was going to be a bit better, but I'm very surprised that it's as quiet as what it is. Maybe come back in the winter, come back in the summer. Maybe the winter just doesn't favour it. I do wish I brought some worm baits or something, some black wraps or some lug or something, just to try for flats. But I've tried the small baits, Sandeel, Mackerel, like I've tried everything in close, Bluey, crab, nothing at all. I've tried small hooks down to size 1s, dogs, more dogs. I'm not showing all the dogs I'm catching because it'll get fair boring after a while. But yeah, I don't know what to do. I suppose I'll just give it the next hour and see what happens. I'll tidy up this area. I've made a bit of a mess here, so I'll tidy this up just a little bit. So it's 7:30 now. I'm planning to kind of finish up by 8. Given this as much of a go as I can, I have half mackerel out on one rod at the moment, and I have crab out on the other. I have 2 crab actually out now. Half mackerel's on an up and over rig, 150 pound hook length, 8/0 hooks. Just see if there's a big conger or something floating around. But the interesting thing is, as you've seen the kelp I've been pulling in throughout the session, the kelp attached to the rocks. There's a lot of dogfish eggs on them. So I'm wondering, is it a bit of a nursery ground? And if it is a nursery ground, I know skate apparently really like to eat doggies, so there's no reason why there wouldn't be a skate moping around down there, hence why I've gone for congers and gone for the bigger rigs, and that if one does appear that I might be able to deal with it. But yeah, it's just interesting stuff now. It's just slack. Dogfish have absolutely died off, which is interesting. They were kind of constant, and I always thought, well, I would have always been under the assumption that once darkness hits you get a lot more doggies, but they seem to have just disappeared there kind of an hour ago. I say that, I guarantee I'll get a double doggy here now, 1 and 8 or 1 on my crab bait. But I just thought there'd be a bit more. I thought there might be, like I tried for wrasse down the side, tried for pollock, nothing at all. I did see some garfish, but I didn't, by the time I got ready for them, because fresh bait would have been nice. But by the time I got sorted from, they'd scattered. So yeah, we'll give another another hour anyway. We'll let both these rods run their time right now. I still think that red rod is getting a bit of action, but we'll let them run their time, give them our 15 minutes. We'll get probably 2-3 more casts left, and then we'll start hitting the road. But it's a solid walk up. It's going to take a while, but yeah, let's see what happens. Let me step out of the light so I can actually see the rods now again. Well, that's it now. I'm finishing up. The last casts are out there now. There's probably there's about 15 minutes in them. Yeah, about another 15 minutes left. Move on then, get back. It's a long walk up that hill, so I'll probably be back to the car by about 9:30 if I leave at 8:30. It's a good long walk, but look, it has to be done. The mark, yeah, I'm not too sure. I thought it would have been a bit better. I thought there would have been a few more fish, but seems to be lots of dogs, just lots and lots of dogs. I would have thought of something else, even a conger or something, but there doesn't seem to be any. But I might come back during the summer. I'm not going to come back now until the water warms up a little bit. Maybe that has something to do with it. But yeah, I'll definitely come back when the water warms up, but that might be the problem then of more kelp. So sure, look, we'll see. But anyway, in other words, it's good to get out. It's good to get a video done again. I haven't done a video in ages. As I said earlier, I'm going doing the community community meetups every month this year. So I just want to get more lads out fishing, more lads chatting to other lads, get a few more fellas getting out with other fellas then in their own time. But just want to, if you want to do it, sign up to the email below. Again, there's no requirement to be at every one of them. There's no requirement to be at any of them. But the option's there if people want to go. As I said, January 3rd is going to be the first one. This video might be out in time, I'm not too sure. But the next one, February, that'll be later February, just because I'm actually heading to Norway start of February. So obviously time will be fairly tight for that. But I'll hopefully do a video in Norway, so keep your eyes open for that one. But yeah, other than that, look, again, thanks very much everyone for watching, thanks for supporting the channel, and yeah, hopefully 2026 is good to you.